Closer here, folks. We're coming to you live from the Garden City. It is November the 9th. It's a beautiful Wednesday here. Just had a magnificent blood moon last night between the hours of 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. I managed to catch a couple of photos of it. Right. In case you're wondering what the screen is about, I wrote this song about a month ago, and it's based on the Gospels, Mark chapter 2, verses 5 to 8. There's a story about Jesus healing a paralyzed man, and he said, "Your sins are forgiven, son." And the Pharisees came up to him and said, as it says in verse 2, "I saw their faith," he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." And the teachers of the law said, "What kind of talk is this? Anyone can say that your sins are forgiven." And then Jesus turned around to them and said, "Look, which is easier to say, your sins are forgiven, or get up and walk and take your mat?" And this man was extremely paralyzed. And so talk is cheap. Also, what comes out of our mouth will inevitably steer the course of our life to a certain extent. In Matthew 15, verses 18, it says, "But the things that come out of the mouth come from the heart, and these make a man unclean: sexual immorality, murder, hatred, etc., etc. And these make a man unclean." So it's not necessarily what goes into the body that makes a person unclean, but what comes out of their mouth. And also Jesus mentions in Matthew 12, verses 36 to 38, "But I tell you that men will have to give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word that they have spoken. And for by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned." And as I confirmed before, it talks about the things that go into us, the foods that necessarily make us unclean, but it's what comes out of us. Nothing outside a man can make him unclean. This is in Mark verse 15. By going into him. Rather, it is what comes out of a man that makes him unclean. In Mark 7 verse 21 it says, "For from within, out of men's hearts come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly." And in the song I wrote, it's called "Talk is Cheap," and Proverbs 14 verse 23, it says, "All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty." So much as words are easy to say, the words steer the course of our life. And even James chapter 3 verse 4, it says, or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and so driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder. Wherever the pilot wants to go, he turns the rudder, and the ship goes in a different direction, or it can go at a 180-degree about turn. If you keep the left hand down or the right hand down. And so I want to do this song, and words are easy to say, but we will be judged by what comes out of our mouth. And what comes out of our mouth may confirm what's in our heart. As Jesus said, if you look at your brother with hatred, you've already committed murder in your heart. That's where it all starts. It starts with a thought and a feeling and an emotion. And out of us comes an abundance of good things or bad things. And you might say, well, this is just a fairy tale thing. Well, take the truth out of it and benefit from it, and at least. Most successful business have been built on the principles of the Bible, like hard work, sowing and reaping like a farmer. Yeah. And Jesus spoke in many parables. Okay, this has got kind of like a double waltz feel to it, like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, not a 3, 4, but like a 6, 8 kind of feel. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't know what to say, so please just go away. Come back another day would be most appropriately. Sometimes we don't know the right words to say, and until then I'll stay away. Talk is cheap. That's what Jesus said. Your tongue is like a rudder that steers the course of your life. Brazen words keep from my little dear Lord. Talk is cheap. That's what Jesus said. Talk is cheap. Talk can be cheap. Talk is cheap. Talk can be cheap. Talk is cheap. And just further on from that, I'd just like to reflect on what James also said in the passage, chapter 3, verse 5. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by just a small spark. In verse 6 it goes on, the tongue also is a fire, a work of evil amongst the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person and sets the course of his life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. Meaning, if we have feelings of rage and we don't control those urges, it says literally that it's set on by hell, that feeling, that rage that comes from beneath the earth. So hopefully that's not too much of a heavy message for you all, but it's the truth. And I'd rather speak the truth, be proven wrong later, than to have not told the truth. Okay, it's over and out from us, folks. Take care.